But first, he's pretty extraordinary. He's trekked to the geographic north and the geographic south poles unaided. He's been tracked by a polar bear and lived to tell the tale. He cycled 1,250 kilometres across the desert of Oman, and he even helped the old Top Gear team to reach the magnetic North Pole. Here he is on one of his expeditions.
Completely alone. And listen to the silence. Hello! Woo! Completely alone. How many times you can say that in your life?
Wow, and that is Coventrian. Mark Wood, who is, well, as we know, an intrepid explorer. What's it like to be completely alone, Mark?
It's remarkable, truly remarkable. It's the drug that keeps me going, really, through expeditions.
It's what you want, is it? That solitude?
I think it is. It's you're really immersed in Mother Nature at that point in time, and it's a very, very rare thing to do on this planet now. We're so, with cities and everything that's built up, to stand in complete isolation is an honour to begin with. So. And
growing up in the city of Coventry, in Finham, what made you go, I'm going to be an explorer when I grow up? How did you do that?
Well, it's something I reach out to with students a lot within the Coventry area. You don't really know what you want to be when you leave school. And I joined the military, and then I went into the rescue services. So it was a path I took towards this. But I think it was literally on your first question, the standing in the Arctic in my first expedition and understanding that I could live and survive there. That's what inspired me to make it my life's passion from now on in, basically. And
a job as well. You've made this your job. How do you combine the two? How do you make this a living?
Well, I don't focus on money. That's the mistake people have. They focus on money and fame and getting there quickly. I focus on what inspires me, and that's to explore and then to build education and environmental programs on top. So my inspiration that I have then basically is a knock-on effect to everybody else, and you start creating bigger and better things, and then the rewards come as you get a little bit more successful, if you like. So
building those programs, what you've done is, as you've travelled, as you've trekked, as you've done these momentous explorations, you've brought children along with you. How have you done that?
Well, through modern technology. So I use the mediums of Skype and satellite phones to link from the extreme. So as an example, in 2013 we did an ascent of Mount Everest, and I took over 10,000 students around the world via Skype, and we linked visually from 6,000, 8,000 metres directly into schools in Australia and Japan and the UK as well. And then on the other side of the screen, there's 200 children in a sports hall watching me on a glacier climbing up the side of Mount Everest.
Says the man who's driven by being alone. It's quite remarkable, really, isn't it?
It's true.
What's that like then to get that? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but presumably satisfaction. What does that feel like for you to be able to share that with those children who are building dreams, building hopes, and making decisions?
Well, what I do is I try and come across honest, because everybody has their flaws and their failings in life, and I think to sit here and say I've never failed in life is the wrong thing. You need to fail to succeed, and I try and link with students with that attitude of, you've got to get out there, you've got to open the door, you've got to move out, and you've got to grab life, and then if you fail along the way, don't worry. If you find your passion, it will keep you driving on, and that's what I want to. I don't want people to think they have to be explorers. The passion is being a teacher, being a radio presenter, being anything you want to do in life, but be passionate. This life is very precious.
Because we talk about he's achieved this, he's achieved that, he's achieved the other. What have you failed at then? You say you can only achieve those things by meeting with failure.
Yeah, well, I got asked a question the other day, have I got any regrets in my life? And I don't, because I have failed, I've made mistakes, I've, that I have kind of regretted, but it's brought me to the position I'm in now. And I enjoy life. I'm not a rich person, but I am rich in life, if you like. I know it's a hell of a statement, but I am. I think the failings that I've made are just general ones. I mean, everybody, if they're honest, can sit back listening to this and go, yeah, I made a few mistakes in my life. But it's not about focusing on that. It's about learning about it and then moving forward. So general mistakes, nothing which is life-threatening. So, through my military and rescue career, I'm very aware, if you like. So, I don't put people's lives at risk. I don't wave flags on expeditions. I think the important thing about an expedition is coming back alive. So I'm extremely aware of that.
And preparation for that, how much preparation can that take?
Well, preparation is everything. Packing for the North Pole expedition I've just literally come back from. I spent 2 years focusing on what we required for this extraordinary journey. We got the best equipment, we looked at the route, we looked at the safety side of it. So before you even step foot off the helicopter onto the ice, you kind of know in your mind that you've got a chance of success here. So you need that with these extreme expeditions. Planning is everything, but that goes with everything as well. Even children who are preparing for exams, or you're preparing a project, whatever it is, the hard work that you put into it, you will reap the rewards of that moment that you actually go and execute it.
You're pretty confident then that you'll nail that before you even step onto that ice?
Yeah, confident to a degree, but I also talk about fear with children. Because when I step foot on ice, I have fear in me. I have that butterfly effect in my stomach. And you need that, because you need to have your defences up. You need all your senses enlightened before you go into the extremes, or before you go into an exam, or whatever you want to do. Because then you will perform better and you'll be aware of any dangers ahead. So, yeah, you need that fear in you. Fear's good in that respect. So.
Is it about, achieving the next big thing for you? Because having seen what you've done, North, South Poles, what's left for someone like you to go on and achieve? Or is it about continually, achieving even small goals that you set yourself? How do you progress?
The thing is it's not about ticking stuff off. I'm returning to Everest next year. Everest is the hardest expedition I've ever done. It's so difficult to work in the altitude that we do. And I didn't really want to go back, but I'm working with some great global companies on bringing in over 1 million students to the expedition. Not 10,000, 1 million. 8,848 schools worldwide will be a part of this expedition. And that's the height of Everest, by the way, in meters.
So they'll be able to connect with you guys as you do this trip?
Yeah, okay. Well, not only connect, we're using... I don't want to talk about the technology because it's very cutting edge.
Right.
And we're actually in the planning stages now. But it's called Mission 8848. So I see you writing that down. I will be coming in to talk about it when we can. But
8848. The reason why I write about it is because quite often we're linked, Coventry and Warwickshire, to latest technology, and I wonder whether we've got any involvement in that somewhere along the way. You never know.
Coventry is a real central hub for technology and education and industry and arts and everything. We're in a real geographical exactly. We're in a great geographical position in the country to exploit all of this great talent that we have. So, the success that I've had has come from moving back to Coventry and working with the great companies and educators here. So
you do feed back to them?
Oh, yeah. This is my mothership, if you like. This is my base camp, if you like, for exploration.
I love it. Coventry is the mothership. Well, you're mates with Prince Harry? Because everyone who goes on the telly and explores and stuff, they're all mates with Prince Harry, aren't they? Is he your mate?
Am I mates with Prince Harry?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Why?
Why?
What are you doing wrong?
Actually, I'm mate. That's one of my flaws in life, I suppose. Yeah.
Ben Fogle, is he your mate?
Oh, Ben Fogle. We just have coffees each morning, me and Ben. Yeah.
We were a bit envious of your jacket though, because people who explore have the coolest clothes. You know, that's a proper high-tech jacket you got on there. Do you get given loads of stuff for what you do?
Well, my sponsors for jackets, Jack Wolfskin.
Oh no! What are you like?
So I mentioned it there. Well, you put it in front of me. So.
Only the once. But you get those perks.
Well, I think you say they're perks, but they're necessity. So I only take stuff out with me that will keep me alive. So I really need to choose the right gear for what I do. So it is high-end quality stuff. But yeah, it's nice as well. I can get away with wearing a jacket like this at a black tie event.
Yeah, just because you are, of course, Mark Woods, explorer from Coventry. Just to give us a few of your kind of successes. What have you achieved then, for anyone who's just listening?
Well, the expeditions I've been on. I mean, achievement is about the projects that I put towards the expedition, but the expeditions I've done. You mentioned the solos to the North and South Pole.
Just rolls off the tongue. Go on.
And supported and aided, and then I think I'm the only it's one of a couple of people that have reached the geomagnetic North Pole twice. I support guided the Top Gear team to the magnetic pole, and then I've done 30 major expeditions over the years, from training people in extreme conditions to guiding in the Himalayas to running dog teams in Alaska. And of course, recently coming back from a very, very, very hard trip across the Arctic Ocean to the geographic North Pole again. So mainly polar based, but I do operate a lot during the year in the Himalayas. So yeah.
Just to, just that again. I must go back to the Lake District and try one of those peaks again.
Well, I don't want to sort of. It's difficult when you say what have you achieved, because really, if I was a listener. I think achievement comes from inside. So somebody who's climbed, say, Snowdon, will get the same feeling of achievement as I do when I ascend Mount Everest. And it's that feeling which is important. It's a very personal thing. Because whatever I've achieved in life, I'll never outdo Neil Armstrong. So that's the point of it. You don't look at achievement as outside. You look at it as inside. You pat yourself on the back and you say, well done, move on. And I think it's a good way. People say it's a Coventry way. I've heard that a lot, we don't boast about our achievements. So I feel quite awkward about that this morning. And they say it's a failure within Coventry. I don't think it is. I think it's a good strong bone to have, that you do achieve, but you stand tall, but you don't shout.
I think one of the most ugliest characteristics in a person is smugness. I know that, it might divide people there, but I do.
Well, I've seen that this morning in this radio station. I walked in and I was blown away by the smugness.
You know what I mean, though?
I do.
It's rotten, isn't it? People sit there dead smug and it's like, what?
It kind of ruins
really?
What people have actually achieved.
Yeah.
I mean, the core of it will speak for itself. I mean, a friend of mine recently got an OBE, and that spoke for him, really.
Yeah,
just
that was all that was needed.
Yeah.
You've got some future achievements coming up. Let's and with local children here in Coventry and Warwickshire, one of which is the kids at Sherbourne Fields. Already, you've got them climbing peaks.
I know, and when anybody says the word Sherbourne Fields to me, I instantly smile.
An amazing
because
place.
I was in there this morning having a coffee with the guys, and it's just such an inspirational school, and the teachers are remarkable, support staff, etc. And I know they're listening now.
The support staff are brilliant.
They are.
They're absolutely phenomenal.
They're very funny as well.
Yeah,
but extremely professional. But over the last 3 years, I've been part of the team. They say I've guided, but I don't think I have. Been part of the team that went up to Snowdon, Scarfell Pike and Ben Nevis. Imagine these kids have got their own disabilities of their own challenges every single day, and suddenly they're climbing the 3 peaks, which anybody who's ever done that knows how hard it is. But they're not stopping there. They're going to Southern Ireland, and you're going to say the name of the mountain, aren't you?
I've been trying to practice. I'm getting it wrong.
We're going to apologise to all the Irish people out there.
Despite having 2 Irish parents, so Carrauntoohil, is
That's
it?
We'll agree with that, yeah. So we're going to climb that at the end of this month.
And that's in County Kerry.
Yes.
Which is such a dramatic landscape. landscape in itself. And if you catch it when it rains, which I did when I last went, it is so dramatic. Different experience perhaps each time you do it.
Yeah, I mean, the weather changes the scenery of a mountain. And we were on Snowdon last year in storms, in freezing weather, which I wouldn't take the hardest military teams up. But these guys at Sherbourne
like, bring it on.
They were bringing it on. Because the core of it, they've got their own challenges.
It's what you say, achievements from the inside.
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect
so that's with Sherbourne Fields. It's always really interesting to see what you guys are going to do next. And these are as important to you as going to the, like you say, the North and South Pole. You're also speaking with the first responders locally and working more with the Blind Society. Yeah,
so the first responders, if anybody's listening and they want to hear me speak, they want to see all my equipment, my sledges, my tents, etc., on Friday this week at 6:30, I'm going to be at the Ettington Chase in Ettington, and you can buy your tickets on the door or you can go online. I'll post that up on my website later, and I'll be speaking there. You can have a chat with me.
So I guess you've got to keep light as well as have everything you need. You've got to keep weight down in terms of what you're carrying and bringing with you.
Yeah, it's important. Move fast, stay light. You know, that's what you.
I was embarrassingly challenged by hand luggage recently. You know, it's like
you're one of those people at the airport, are
yeah,
you?
They were like, "Do you really need 3 of those?" I'm like, no, kind of, a little bit. God, just let that little hairspray in. No, so you get to do that. But one of the things you're really proud of is your connection with the Blind Society and how you share what you do with them.
Yeah, my grandfather, he was blind, and he passed away quite a few years ago. But you know, I was brought up at an early age with this great, awesome guy, and now I'm kind of now being linked to the Blind Society in Coventry. And when I'm in the extremes, just as your clip at the start of this showed, I can be quite sort of animated. So I've given a couple of talks from the North Pole, which got back to the audio books in the Midlands area, and I'm hoping to chat to the guys on Monday about extending that, so we do a regular sort of update for them. So I mean, that's very inspiring for me.
All right, well, listen, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Anyone that wants to hear that talk, then Friday 6:30 over at Ettington Chase. And what do they look up website wise to do that?
Well, go on to Facebook, Mark Wood Explorer.
No S, Mark Wood.
Mark Wood Explorer, and I will post that up the very next thing I do from leaving this studio.
All right, thank you so much for coming in. Real pleasure to meet you, and good luck with the guys from Sherbourne Fields, with the first responders, and also that work you continue with the Blind Society as well. Inspirational in many, many ways, and really interesting to hear someone like Mark just say, achieve